Okay, welcome back everybody to the channel. Today we are going to be covering the next video in our Celtic Heroes series, and we're going to be starting off with the Mage Guide. I'm joined as always by fellow co-host Lovedy Ninja.
Hello.
And by today's guest Goliath.
Hello.
And you're one of the best mages on Crom?
I guess active-ish, I guess.
He's
Kinda.
up there.
Yeah, kinda up there. Okay. So, for how we usually start off these guides we're first going to cover a general overall introduction to the class. So,
Okay.
generally the mage is one of the primary DPS classes, but how does it go about doing this?
Alright, as of like right now, like me being my level and just like what advices I can have, or should I start from like when I first started, like at level 1?
Just as an endgame mage, where that's how we're mostly going to be covering stuff.
Okay. Do I just start and just, wing it and go about it? Okay. For mages, like in-game, high suggestion is always go all focus, no matter what. I think before I had like shittier or like crappier gear, I started with like I think it was like it was straight on like 5k health, so I was dying like back and forth. To what is that word? Mitigate.
Yep.
That health issue, I was using E-Shield or the energy shield. It helped a lot.
Yeah.
And right now, I didn't get taught this until like the last, or like fucking maybe like 2 years, maybe a year ago, about hot swapping. So I hot swapped like 16 items, maybe a little bit more.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so like my ice shards, I only put like 9 points in, and it's maxed out.
Oh my god. Okay then.
And same thing for Ice Blast, and almost all my skills is like I have at least 2 items per each skill.
Oh yeah. So the mage class is definitely built around doing just lots and lots of damage, as it can really nuke bosses. But it's also very skill reliant as a class. Some penalties, that's one of the downsides of it, is that it only does skill damage. And it also has very weak armor and defense. And energy management tends to be a big issue with this class as well.
Yes. The one thing that I saw that does help me whenever we're doing long fights, like say we're doing like Jelly or BT, I always have, or like honestly, like any kind of boss, like as long as like if it's like Troll or Snorri or better, I always have to pop a heroic energy lick. Like always, if I pop one of those, I never have issues with the energy.
Yeah. Do you use energy boost?
I do not.
Oh.
Oh
wow.
Yeah, like I don't like it's. I'm always running Ice Shards, Ice Blast, Firebolt. I used to do Firestorm, and I had like skills to like help me max it out, but I had to just swap that out for what was it, Freeze?
Mm-hmm.
Have like a shadow skull for Freeze and a ring. Like I think it's a royal, so it can be at 220. Then was it Ice Attune?
Yeah,
I
that
have
increases the ice ability.
Yeah, like if you don't have that maxed out, like I don't know what people are doing. There's also Ice Lure and was it Magic?
Yeah.
And then the one thing that I was taught leveling up is Ice Mages are always supposed to be Ice Lure and Magic. for fire mages is was it
Pierce.
the what is it, that bullshit? Assassins, lure of
Yeah,
assassins, and
the
uh,
mages always do the
the
Pierce
fire lure.
lure. Yeah, we
Yeah,
will definitely get into in depth in each ability a little bit later on as we go. So,
gotcha.
um, yeah, this is definitely one of the hardest classes to play, and there's a lot of information for it. So definitely not recommended to be like a first time class. But also the supportive capabilities. What does our mage do as like a more supportive class
The
for raids?
lures. That's like the biggest thing. The lures. Lure magic. I know like our biggest like DPS is like mages. Basically casters. So like magic helps with the druids.
Hmm. Yeah,
It's like mine's always like maxed out like 24/7. I always have those two lures maxed out, so it's always on standby.
hmm. Yeah,
One thing that I saw that I guess I could do as support is what do you call energy boost. I have
yeah.
a Aggie. I have like a little Aggie +7 energy boost ring, and then I just like randomly if I hear someone say like, "Oh, I'm low on energy," I just give them uh, a little boost.
Yeah,
There's some people that
that skill's
there's
really
some
good to
people that
cast on others.
there's a certain ranger I know. They have like 1.5 energy, and they run out in like 5 seconds.
Oh man.
So I try to help them.
Yeah.
Would that be CQB?
No comment. No comment.
So yeah, definitely as you mentioned earlier, to excel as an endgame mage, especially you must be hot swapping 2 to 4 pieces of equipment for each skill.
Yes, that is big facts.
Yeah. Usually what you're hot swapping is a recast piece along with a damage amplifier and then skill rings or skill pieces on top of that.
Yes.
So usually like whether it's weapons, necklace, helmet, any piece of armor, bracelets, misc, you name it. If you can hot swap it, you're probably running it. Um
Yeah. What is it? What I've noticed, some people that just started out, not started out, but like they they are not in a good enough clan where they have options. They barely have like 2 to 3 pieces of like gear they can hot swap with, and which isn't much. I think what's his name? Clock. I was giving advice, and I noticed that he didn't have like very much gear he can base off of. So like my advice is like had to be tweaked because just to like help him out. Uh, yeah, and then he asked about the health thing, and I told him already. Like I basically set him up how I would set myself up.
yeah.
Um, I guess the advice for people that are not in good enough clans is just use what you got, and then whenever you get something, uh, get like more gear, use it. Like just to use it as soon as you get it.
Mm. Yeah, this definitely, and as you see, I see a lot with lower power mages is they tend to focus their builds much more because the mage definitely can be like a toolbox class where you can provide so many different lures and damage at endgame, but when like you're gonna have to coordinate in lower power clans or when you're by yourself with other people at raids, just like what kind of build you're running to make sure every basis gets covered at raids.
Yeah, yeah, and then, yeah, be prepared to like alt because if there's someone that like say like there's only like two mages, like people have to cover down for certain lures because obviously you can't do prot uh, without the like maxed out lures,
Yeah,
which
because
which kind of sucks.
maxing out all your if you got pierce lure, slash lure, your magic ice and fire lures on that, your group could easily be increasing the total damage by 33% or more. It's crazy how much damage they can add. So let's do a quick rundown of each of the abilities and generally what kind of builds you're going to use each one in or how good they are. So starting off, we are going to go with the skill Fire Attune. What are your thoughts on this?
I was so close at a certain level. I think it was like 187. That was like years ago, like years.
Yeah.
I almost became a fire mage, but then I think the only reason I didn't was because I liked the heavy damage, and that was basically all the gear I had too. Like my gear was more leaning on the ice mage portion. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I like the heavy damage, and I just said fuck it.
Yeah. This character I'm on, he's only like level 100. Haven't really lixed him much, but so sorry if for my lack of some abilities and points in abilities. But yeah, generally Fire Tune is a must run for any fire mage class. We'll cover this along with Ice Attune. You absolutely need to be running these skills. You can only have one on at a time, but this is where most of your damage will come from.
Yeah, what Fire Attune basically does is amplifies the amount of damage that you get from Firebolt and Firestorm. And if you're starting from a low level, try asking endgame mages if they have a spare book, or just anyone really.
Yeah, these are
yeah,
very...
that's true.
This is the first ability you max as you are lixing. So yeah. Next we have Cloak of Fire.
Useless.
In the beginning when I first started, I think if I had extra points, it was Cloak of Fire.
Mm-hmm.
But then the game came out with was it Frostbite, and so I just stuck with Frostbite. If you're a high level mage and you're trying to level your alts, Fire Cloak does some work.
Oh yeah,
definitely does some work.
If you're like full endgame, yeah, like you could cast that shit on a level 1 and just run through town. The licks on, just level them from level 1 to 16 on licks.
Absolutely. Also, I have seen some more some like supportive mages, and they will cast this on like tanks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Next we got Energy Boost.
Support mage, I'd say.
Yeah, this is if you have the spare points and you don't need it for any like of the major skills, I would use it. If you're struggling on was it like energy situations, because like for me, my sigils, I have was it about 2.1k sigils of energy. So I don't really have. Yeah, I would have more, but I kind of stopped it at 2.
My rogue has only about 1,000. But yeah,
750 for me.
2,000 sigils is a lot. Definitely, that's going to help you a lot in raids where you just stop your combo for a couple seconds. But if you're lacking sigils and you have extra points, Energy Boost is a solid skill.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, now there is.
What is it? Kites. Was it the Everlasting Flight of Focus?
Yeah,
definitely is a keeper. I literally maybe a minute ago I just won the 9% one.
Ah.
I was running a 6% right now.
Okay. What are the thoughts on Energy Shield?
Oh, well, that's my baby right there. My spare points right now, so I have every skill maxed out of what I wanted, and my spare points go to Energy Shield and Frostbite.
Yeah.
I'm right now. I have it's one of my favorite ones because I was telling you that if you have low health, that is key. It let me max this out real quick. Right now it gives me like 3.5k of shield.
Geez. Yeah, I've seen a lot of PvP mages run this skill too.
And I only put like 20 points into it. I have a Shadow Skull, a Godly Morty Ring, and I'm using my Exalted Skirt because it gives you +8 on Energy Shield. and then I just switch back to my other gear pretty quick.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely see. So you can see there just how much hot swapping can do.
Yes.
Thoughts on energy well? This is sadly a
Ooh.
skill I do not have.
Definitely don't use, but if I ever get a ring that would help me on the energy well, I would definitely like put it into one of my what do you call it, hot bars or definitely would do that. I would I have like, I think I maxed it out whenever way back when where they had a limit. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I have 10 of the pages fit like free.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, I've not seen many mages running this, and if you are flooded with points and gear, sure, run it. Other than that, don't.
Yeah, it's almost pointless, but like if it's there for a reason, like if you have like rings and like gear for it, I was like, fuck it. I wouldn't put any points into it, but I would definitely use it for if I have like spare gear, and I'll just put it in a slot and use it.
And so let's cover Firebolt and Ice Shards. We can cover
Those are key. Fire mages and ice mages. I definitely do see fire mages using ice shards, like they have it maxed out, and that I do the same for Firebolt. Like I said, I used to run the Firestorm, but I switched it for Freeze. So I used to be like a dual mage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely the optimal DPS setup is to run both fire and ice, and not just sticking to one.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Hot swapping makes that.
Yeah, especially since one of the big weaknesses of the mage class is a lack of damage type diversity that what other classes can easily get. So being able to do both fire and ice tends to be really good, even though you're just focusing heavily into one of them more than the other. Both of which have pros and cons that we'll go over.
It's still free damage.
Yeah. Best to do it. Incinerate.
It's the same thing as Frostbite. I'm assuming fire mages would use it if they have those spare points. With my spare points, I had 18 spare, and I put it on to Frostbite. And then with the ring I have, it comes out to like 35 out of 45. And I've done my crit damage on Frostbite. It's like I think it was like over 1,000, might be like 1,500. I'm assuming Incinerate does like about the same thing.
Incinerate does hit for less, but it lasts longer.
It's still more damage. It's free damage, definitely.
Does it have a cast time? I'm not sure.
Let me cast it real quick. Let's see what happens.
I do not have the skill on this account, sadly.
Yeah. Oh, that's also rough too if you're starting out mage and you don't have like the skills like unlocked, because some of them you need to have like
yeah,
you need to have books, you need to have pages, and that's pretty much it. I think
I'm only missing
the pages
books.
suck.
Yeah, I'm only missing the page skills on this account.
Same on mine for Incinerate and Freeze.
Incinerate
looks like it.
Oh, so what about it?
I think it's like a 10-second-ish cast time.
Oh, jeez.
Maybe a little bit more.
Probably not worth it then. Yeah, that's a very long cast time. I would not recommend you run that, because Frostbite has a much shorter cast time, and it hits for more each tick. Next we're going to cover all of the different lures. Lure of Assassins hitting Pierce, Lure of Fire hitting Fire, Lure of Giants hitting Crush, Lure Ice hitting Ice, Lure Magic hitting Magic, and Lure Soldiers hitting Slash.
I'd say all of them. It all really depends on what your melee and ranged consist of.
Yes, that is a big factor. But like I do not mess with giants I do have that the one little charm that you get from like what 2013 is it gives you like +10 on giants.
Yeah.
I have that and I have an Aggie ring, but I don't run that skill because it's like what is it? Giants is like what blunt
Yeah.
damage.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I'm not really a fan of warriors doing damage, so depending on more on casters and other classes.
Yeah. Lure of Assassins, Fire, Ice, and
Yes.
Magic are the must-run lures. Lure Soldiers
Yes.
are if you have like a lot of DPS warriors. And then Blunt
Yeah.
is useless. There's no point unless you're, have multiple Dino or Hammer warriors in your clan for some reason.
Yeah, for whatever reason, like I guess it just depends on the day, but I definitely wouldn't run it.
How about last ability, Sacrifice?
Ooh, way back when years ago, I was running it when I didn't have like the energy and like I was hurt. Like I even with like the before heroic energy or heroic elixirs came out, I think I was running that regular super energy licks and energy boost, and I was still running out of energy. So I had to use sacrifice, which kind of sucked.
Okay.
That was way back when though. That was years ago though.
Yeah, I used to use this way back in the day a little bit on this account, and then I found out when you're elixing, it's pretty garbage.
Yeah. If you're solo elixing especially, oof.
Yeah. Okay, so generally, yeah. A general rule of thumb though is if you're ever a mage and you're running across the big problem of the amount of energy or managing that, and you feel like you need to dump points into skills like sacrifice or energy well because licks plus energy boost plus occasional resto is not enough for you, biggest recommend for that is just reconsider your whole build in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or gear, like if you're doing something wrong at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Like everything's a factor. It goes from sigils to your gear to your stats, how you have it set up. It just depends on everything.
Yeah. So I have 5 major builds here for the mage I would like to quickly cover. They are all very all 5 are very reliant on 2 of 3 specific stats: fire, ice magic, and focus. And then a little bit I've seen on some mages, but we'll get into that. So first up, what are the benefits specifically of the ice mage build?
Wait, say again.
What are
Someone
the
will say something like this.
Sorry.
What are the major benefits of the ice mage build?
Definitely the huge amounts of damage. If you can, well, for me, I crit, like at most 38, maybe I say 38 K on like 215.
Yeah. So
Um,
knocks.
Yeah, it does not definitely, and then especially Ice Blast, like say, the AOE, it does some damage, or like a lot of damage on all the like say we're trying to get rid of like the small fry.
Mm-hmm.
That definitely helps, and then also it's like a double-edged sword too. But yeah, major thing for ice mages is basically the heavy amounts, the heavy amounts of damage.
Mm-hmm. And it trades off this for long cooldowns as a weakness. And
Yes,
recast
that's
gear
why I
is
use the yes, that is correct. I was about to say that. I was like huge amounts. Like if you don't have like a 30% reduction piece, that's kind of sucks.
yeah, this class can feel very slow, and it really falls out without recast gear because like even just recasting your ice shards 30% faster, you're looking at easily a 25% damage increase overall. It's kind of insane how good recast gear is on this class. So your standard ice mage gear you're gonna look at around level 220 will consist of like ice shards, ice blast, ice attune, lure of ice, firebolt, freeze, and then like lure of magic because that scales off of your ice ability, along with energy
Yes.
boost and e shield for point dumps.
Definitely.
So yeah. Next up we got the fire mage. And so what are the strengths of this class?
Fast damage, quick. It almost. I still gotta like look into it. I didn't really like go into depth with fire mages, but I know they're almost on par with like ice mages on damage. It's just they have faster skills, and they're like if they have like reduction on that, oh, it's deadly, especially if they crit.
They do have similar damage and par when you look at the damage per second each class can put out. But the big advantage where ice mages head edge out a little bit is since a lot of endgame raids have natural lower ice resistance than fire resistance. Especially
I don't know about Jelly and BT. Are they? Which one's better? Is it freaking ice or fire?
For BTE, I do believe fire's better, but on Dino, Gelly, Prot, and Summoning, like the whole Summoning Chambers level of the tower, ice is better.
Hell yeah! No.
So, Fire Mage, it's definitely a very spammy class. You can get a lot of fast damage. Your abilities cast faster. But with this also comes the new, almost like a new level of difficulty where you need to manage your cooldowns better and your hot swaps, and it does become a little bit harder to pull this class off because of that.
One of the biggest things that I noticed is that you can't really AFK on mages. Like lures need to be set at all times, and because some bosses like to get rid of your lures or like deny you on those casts, and it's rough. You can't AFK. Unlike rangers, but you know, it is what it is.
Yep. And for a standard fire mage build, I have pulled up here firebolt, fireball, maybe cloak of fire as a point dump, fire attune, and fire lure, along with assassin lure, energy boost, and possibly incinerate, seeing as incinerate is a skill that is necessary on like the monolith bosses and a couple others, even if it's level 1.
Yeah, for definitely starting out, I probably wouldn't use incinerate. I'd probably stick I would dump on ice shards.
Oh yeah,
Firebolt, Firestorm. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely key.
My bad. I had this
also depends on
written
gear.
up before we tested its cast time. So yeah, definitely drop incinerate for ice shards, actually, with that. Okay, next we have a lure monkey build.
Very
I heard a very useful in the background.
Yes.
As boring as this class may be, it is
definitely
crucial.
A class could AFK. Like, if you just have like a bot or a macro, which is technically not allowed.
Something that we do not endorse on this channel.
Yes, then you literally only... It's probably the easiest thing in the world. You just stand there, you don't do damage, you just freaking cast the lures and that's it.
Yeah, just max every lure that isn't your lure of giants. And you can also put points into ice shards, firebolt, and maybe your energy boost to help your allies, and cloak of fire as well. That you can just throw that up on your tank.
Yes, definitely. I've seen like 2 where they're just straight only for lures, and like the support, like anything support you can think of is what they do. I think whenever I was there was a fight. I think we were doing Prot. I had to do all lures, and I still had enough to do ice shards and firebolt. That was it.
Yeah, and I think Lure of Fire is actually, or not Lure of Fire. Cloak of Fire is a little bit of an underrated ability. It's got very low energy cost to it, and it's got a very fast cast time, which you can see on my screen. It's only about like a second, and when you max that out, it could do some damage, especially on a boss like Galabron, or Proteus, especially because of how fast he hits.
Hmm.
And then
Yeah,
we
no,
got
he's not my favorite.
yeah, for standard DPS builds, it's one of the first abilities you drop though. But then we got the Tank Mage. This build is also used a lot in PvP.
I'm not a super fan of PvP because I'd rather like do raids, fight bosses,
Get kills.
and yeah, get kills. Yeah, and I'm also pretty squishy, or I feel like I'm squishy because I feel like I die fast. So definitely don't like playing PvP.
But yeah, usually with PvP builds, you want to go like a 3-2 Vit to what's it called? Focus split with your points. You run like a shield or and then energy shield as well with that. And then you generally just run like Firebolt, Firestorm, your Lure, and other attune abilities. And the idea is to one-shot them before they can one-shot you because you're kind of tanky.
I would definitely for PvP. My idea for it is I would run freeze. I would freeze them first and lure, put all my lures, and then I'll use my heaviest attack and hope I can one shot.
You heard it here first, folks. Freeze is the secret PvP tech. Yeah. It can also, this build can also go into more of a supportive style mage class if need be as well. The best pets for this class. What are we looking at here?
Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Oh yeah, for like if you're cheap and you can't really spend much on the game or like just build enough coin, definitely Bunny.
Yes.
For me,
Phoenix.
I had to go Phoenix because I want to maximize my damage, and I had the monies for the spending. So
Also, another pet is the eagle, which isn't that bad, as it reduces its active ability reduces the target's evasions, and it gives you focus. So, if you're lacking a support rogue at a raid, eagle can definitely come in clutch. And then as for mounts, what are the best?
yeah, I'd probably go with elk. It wasn't available or it wasn't an option for me when I had my first mount. I had wolf, and wolf was the only one at the time that had focus.
Yep.
Yeah, so if bear or elk were available, I'd probably pick elk if I had to start over.
Yep. Yeah, and wolf isn't that bad as that synergizes well with your Pierce Lure. And it gives you a little bit more damage. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up today's video. I hope you all enjoyed, and thank you very much, Goliath, for coming on today. And I wish you all luck, and see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.